Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today on Yoga for Golfers, we're going to go through a nice quick hip mobility series. In fact, a lot of my clients come in, I assess that they have tight hips, I give them these few exercises, I tell them to work on them for a few days while I put together their full plan. So all you're going to do is you're going to drop your feet straight out in front of you, kind of like a small V here, hands behind. What you're going to do is you're going to tip your toes back, reach your legs forward, and then you're going to roll out and you're going to roll in. And we're going to do 5 rolls like that. It's a nice simple exercise. Like I said, what I like about it is it's dynamic. You're the one controlling the mobility. So when we do that, we tend to get better control of any mobility we gain versus just a static stretch. Next, we're just going to bring our legs a little bit wider, pull our toes back again, and we're going to do the same 5 rolls. And you'll notice as you move out, it gets more difficult and more difficult. Now remember, with the golf swing, we're about shoulder width apart. So we're not going to be this wide, but if we can rotate when we're this wide, we can certainly rotate when we're set up for a golf swing. Now we're going to do one more movement, nice and wide again here. We'll tip the toes back, roll out, and then we're going to roll in. And again, usually the further you get out, especially hip internal rotation, which is the one where your feet go together, starts to get limited. One more turn. Perfect. Then I'll usually bring them in. I'll have them take their feet together, and we're just going to drop here. We're going to work the knees toward the ground. A lot of times I'll have them flutter. So instead of just pushing down, you're going to bounce like this. It's going to help loosen up the groin muscles, which is a big limitation for external rotation. Slow, steady breath throughout. About another 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Relax. Now what I'll do is I'll have them keep one foot out front, one foot behind. We're looking for a 90-degree angle here, a 90-degree angle here. If you can, you'll sit straight up. Most people can't the first time through, so they'll use the support arm. Come up, and we're going to take 5 big, deep breaths. Breath 3. Breath 4. And breath 5. Now, if you can't stay in this position for those 5 deep breaths, that's fine. Keep working at it. I promise the hips will loosen up for you. We're going to go ahead and move on to position 2. We'll drop to our forearms, and we're going to have 5 deep breaths here. Now, the focus with this deep breathing is to really expand your rib cage through here, which is going to make this not just a hip mobility exercise, but a core mobility exercise too. Both forearms are on the ground if you can. A lot of times this one is a little bit stiffer, so we've kind of got to look like we're forcing it to the ground. Same thing I said about the last position. The more you work on it, the better it'll get. Next, we're going to drop our arms straight out in front and take 5 breaths here. Now, a lot of you might find that you go into this and you're stuck here. So I want you to really feel like you take that armpit, my left armpit, the closest one to the camera, and I start working it toward the ground to force a stretch over this bottom right hip here. And again, first time through, this might not be a great pose for you, but keep working at it. It'll keep improving. Great. Now we're going to come back up. We're going to go straight back to that beginning position. Leg out front, leg behind, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. Upright if you can, or an arm to support. 5 deep breaths. Again, we're looking through expansion right through the rib cage on each individual breath. Yours might be a little bit faster or a little bit longer than my breath. Finish with one more. And we'll go down to the ground. Forearms to the ground, 5 more deep breaths. Now, what you potentially notice is that you're not going to feel a stretch in your hips, but you feel it throughout your core, your abs, your obliques, your back, that's fine. This is really binding up a lot of different body parts, and you're going to feel it wherever you're most restricted. So just keep a focus on where you feel it. If it happens to be your obliques, your low back, I want you to feel like your deep breath actually pushes into that limitation to expand it and let it melt away. And we're going to drop all the way down. Again, we're looking to take this shoulder here, this armpit, press it toward the ground. 5 deep breaths, big expansion through the rib cage with each breath. Exhale gets rid of all that stale air, and replace it with fresh air in your next big inhale. Again, if you feel a restriction, I want you to just feel like you're breathing into it. For me, it's my bottom hip. I feel like a deep breath almost pushes that bottom hip just a little bit further and allows the muscle to relax. And we'll climb back up. And that's going to do it. Like I said, a real quick hip mobility video. If you've got 4 or 5 minutes and you're trying to fit something in before a round of golf, this is your go-to. Can't wait to see you guys next time on Digital Golf Ducks Yoga for Golfers.